Hey everyone, welcome to another Khan support video. This one is on finding the slope from 2 points, okay? So I'm going to show you the traditional way to do it using the formula. I'm also show you the way I like to do it, which I think is a little easier, but all the same thing. It's basically finding the ratio of change in y over change in x, right? The staircase of movement along a line. So let's go. All right, so it says here the first point is negative 7, 8, or negative 7, negative 8, I should say. And the second point here is 0, 4. Okay, so traditionally the formula for slope is change in y over change in x. Fancy way of describing it is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's just say that this is our second point and this is our first point. It would be y2 minus the quantity of y1 over x2, which is going to be the 0, minus the quantity of x1, which is going to be negative 7. So you can write it out that way and just kind of solve it. 4 plus 8 is 12, and 0 plus 7 is going to be 12 over 7, right? So this is going to be 12 sevenths, right? And that would be the correct answer. You can put that there if you want, all right? Now, the way I like to do it is I like to just, write the 2 points out. It doesn't matter which one you're going from and which one you're going to. I'm just going to go from the first one to the second. It doesn't make a difference. And so I'm just literally going to say, what's the change in the y? And it doesn't matter which way you go. If you're going to go this way, I just put the change in y on top. So what would I add to negative 8 to get 4? I would add 12. And then change in x on bottom, what would I add to negative 7 to get 0? 7. So what's the ratio? 12 over 7. You're done. And so that's kind of the way I like to do it. Like I said, either way, you're going to get the right answer. Okay? So there you go. The next one, let's just erase our values here. All right, let me do that a little bit neater so we still have the lines to work with for this one. All right, beautiful. Let's get rid of all this extra stuff. Okay, so for this one here, it says negative 2, negative 6. So you're going to start with negative 2, negative 6, and then you're going to get 2, 2. So 2, 2. So from this point to this point. Once again, the formula would say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if you think about this as the second point, it would be 2 minus the quantity of negative 6 all over 2 minus the quantity of negative 2. And you could do the math here. 2 plus 6 is 8 all over 2 plus 2, which is 4. 8 over 4 is 2, right? But what I like to do is I just go, okay, from this first point to the second point, doesn't matter which way you go, but I'm going to go from the left to the right. That's the way I like to do it. So from negative 6 to 2, what would I add to negative 6 to get 2? You'd add 8. And that's the change in the y. It always goes on top. And the change in the x direction always goes on bottom of the ratio. So that would be negative 2 to 2. What would you add to negative 2 to get 2? And you'd add 4. So the ratio is just positive 8 over positive 4, which is 2, right? So no matter how you do it, it's going to be a value of 2. All right. All right, the next question is going to be from negative 10, 1. First point is negative 10, 1. And the second point is 0, negative 4. It's in 0, negative 4. Once again, if you do it the traditional way using the formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, then it'll be negative 4 take away positive 1. So negative 4 take away positive 1, the change in the y's, all over 0 minus negative 10. 0 minus negative 10, change in the x. The key is to make sure whatever you have as your second point is always your second point, and whatever you have as your first point is always your first point. All right? So negative 4 take away 1 is negative 5, and negative 10 is positive 10. So it's really negative 5 over positive 10, which is going to be negative 1/2. So the correct answer is negative 1/2. The way I like to do it, though, is like I said, I like to just do the archway arrows. So I say, okay, I want to go change in y from the left point to the right point. So what would I add to 1 to get negative 4? That's the change in the y direction. I would add negative 5. Okay, what would I add to negative 10 to get 0? Always arrows going the same way, right? So that's going to be a positive 10, right? So what I notice, the ratio is just negative 5 over positive 10. Done. I just do this kind of calculation kind of in my head by asking what would I add. And I think it's pretty simple to do it that way. That's negative 5/10, which is also negative 1/2. Same answer. And there you go. All right, next question. We're going to go from point 6,9 to the next point, which is 7,1. Okay, so formula would say change in y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you'd be looking at 1 take away 9 all over 7 take away 6, which would be negative 8 over over negative, negative 8 over 1, so negative 8. And so that would be your answer. So we know this is negative 8. And then I'll just check it the way I like to do it, which is change in y direction from the left to the right. What would I add to 9 to get 1? I would add negative 8. What would I add to 6, changing the x direction to get 7? I would add 1. So it's negative 8 over positive 1, which is negative 8. It's always changing y on top, changing x on bottom. As long as you're careful, you get it right. And that's how you do it. So that's how you find slope from 2 points. You can use the formula, or you can just do what I do, which is look at the 2 points and say, okay, what's the change in the y? What would I add to one to get the other? And you do it that way. Either way, you're going to get the same value and the same answer.